Well, welcome everybody to our class today on how to open an account with the foreign broker. And so I'm glad that everybody's here. I see quite a few names in the attendees list, and we'll just go ahead and start. I'm sure there'll be some stragglers coming on here pretty soon. Now, I do want to tell you that I have a moderator today on the call, and her name is Mary Clark. So the questions that you post in the chat box will probably be addressed to you in chat by Mary Clark. So don't worry if you see someone answering your chats and it's not my name. And if there's something that Mary cannot address, she'll bring my attention to that so that I can answer all of your questions today. I don't want anybody to leave today and still have questions. But what I would like to ask is that, and this is an open mic, so you are welcome to say, hey Mindy, stop a minute and do that again if you need to say that. But if you could please turn your mics off for the sake of the recording until you are ready to ask me a question, and then turn your mics back on. And that'll help with the recording, because I know people will be wanting to go back into it and we'll have less background noise. So to start today, what I want to do is I want to go through the entire process of opening an account with one of the brokers that I think you're really going to like. They are rapidly becoming my favorite broker. And so the thing to do initially is to have everybody go to my website. So if you could open a internet window and go to www.mindyyost.com, and that will bring you to my website. And then as you scroll down my website, you will come to something that says quick links to what you need now. And the first link that you find under there is this one for HTTPS login finprotrading.com register. So let's all click on this link. Now make sure that you're doing the one for finprotrading.com, because that's the one that I really like this broker, and I'll show you why as we go through the day. So let's click on that. Now I am going to be opening an account today for my son, because I want to show you all of the steps involved. And since I already have an account, if I try to go through the steps again, it's going to automatically put me into the account that I already have open. So that's not going to help you guys at all. So when you get to this window, it's going to ask you for a client login. But if you do not have an account with them, what you do is you just look down at the bottom of the window, and it says, do you have an account? And so you don't. So we're going to click here where it says sign up. You don't want to hit these buttons that say, sign in with Facebook or sign in with Google. You just want to hit right here where it says sign up. So I'm going to click that, and then, get rid of that. I'm going to go ahead and fill this out for my son. So what you do is you just fill this out. It's just so easy. So his first name is Brian. His last name is Yost. and then you put in your email address. Now on password, what you do is you pick out a password that you want. So it has to be something that you will remember. So pick out whatever you want and key it in. But it has to be something that you remember. It will be case sensitive. So make sure you write down, if you've used caps or numbers or symbols, whatever, write it down somewhere so that you do not forget what you put in. And then we'll click on the country. Now I'm in the United States. I think most of you are, but I might have some people who are not in the United States today, and that's fine, because this broker takes clients from pretty much every country in the world. So you put that in, and then you put in your phone number. And I'm sorry, this is the one thing I wasn't prepared for. I have to look up my son's phone number because I don't know what it is off the top of my head. So bear with me just for a second. Okay, and that's how easy it is. And then when we have our name, our email address, password, our country, phone number, then you just hit the sign up button. And that's how easy it is. Now, once you do that, what will happen is it's going to ask for a verification code. So it's going to say check your email, and then what you need to do is you need to go to your email, and it might take a couple of minutes for that email to show up. So what you do is you have to wait here a second, and you will receive an email confirmation. So you open that email, and it will give you a verification code. So what you do is you click here on activation code, and you type in the number that they sent you. And then you hit submit. So everybody should now be at this step. So what this does is this puts you inside of your account with FinPro Trading. Okay, and it puts you initially on your profile page. Now there's a few things on the profile page that you do need to go ahead and put in. Because so far all we've given them is our name and our phone number and our email address, right? So go ahead and finish filling out the personal information on the profile page. Oh, I'm sorry, you have to hit what? I'm sorry. Okay, so you click update the information, and then it puts you where you can add these things. So you find your birthday, and then you put the year that you were born. Now the thing is, this company, FinPro Trading, is in Europe, and so when it puts in dates, it does them backwards from the way that we do it in the United States. Like we always put the month first and then the day. and then the year. Well, in Europe they put the day first, then the month, and then the year. So this is one thing that you really have to be careful of, because if you were born on, like January 2nd, you're going to want to put in 1, 2, right? And then the year. But in Europe, they put in 2, 1. So the 2nd of January. So my son was born on the 27th of May. So the dates are always backwards from what we expect them to be. So you have to watch out for that. And then you just scroll down through the information and fill it all out. It's pretty easy. Now, in the United States, go ahead and put your city and state in where it says city and town, because they don't have a specific box for our state. And then hit save. So that puts us back into the profile page, and you'll get no, I'm sorry, just a second. Okay, you will get another message on your email saying that you have updated your profile when you do that. So now that we have our profile updated, the next thing that we need to do is you can go to the Documents tab. And so when you click on the Documents tab, it's going to tell you that you don't have any documents submitted yet, but you can upload your documents here. So what you do is you click on the little Here button right here. See where it's in blue? You click on that. Now, in the email that I sent to you the other day, what I told you to do to prepare for this class today was that you needed to take photographs of your driver's license and a current bill that you have that shows your current residence. So I hope that you were able to do that. It's a pretty easy process if you have a smartphone, because what I did for Brian and what I did for myself when I opened my account is I literally took a photograph of my driver's license and a current utility bill, and then what I did is I downloaded those photographs from my phone to my computer, and then now that I have Brian's documents on my computer, what I'm going to do is upload, this is called uploading, those files into his account. So now the first one that they want is a government issued photo ID, and this is the driver's license. So to upload that, I'm going to click on Select File, and then I'm going to go to the PC, and I'm going to find the files. Just a second. Things are going slow here. Okay, so I have a JPEG file of Brian's driver's license. So I'm just going to tell it to open. And now, what happens is once you put that in, it's going to turn red. The reason for that is because it won't turn green until FinPro has had a chance to take a look at it and make sure that everything is what they need. And then once they approve the document, it will, this box will change from this red color to a green color. And then for his proof of residence, this is where the current utility bill comes in. I'm going to select the file. I'm going to go find it on my computer. I'm going to click on it and open it. Okay, so I have now uploaded my son's driver's license and his current utility bill. Okay, now the next thing that we have to do is we have to go to the risk disclosure statements and we have to read them. So we need to first download the first one right here and then double click on the download and that opens it. Now in this class I am not going to read these disclosure statements to you because that would take 2 hours for me to read all this. But I do think that it is very important that you do actually come back in here and read these risk disclosure statements, because it's very important when you're trading Forex that you understand exactly what you're getting into. And these documents will outline the rules and things that you need to know about how your account will be dealt with by the broker. Okay, now you can print these documents out and actually sign and date them, but what happens since everything is online now, what happens is in this trading portal, once you have downloaded that and read it, when you click the box right here and put the check mark in that you have read that, it's going to give you an electronic signature. So you do not need to print the document out, sign it, date it, and send it back to FinPro. It's all done electronically when you check this box. So now that we've read the first one, let's go to the customer agreement and download it and open it and read it. And it is very important that you actually take the time to read these documents, but we're not going to do it in the class today. But as soon as the class is over, it's very important that you come back into your account and read these things, because I just think it's incredibly important that you know how your account will be handled by the broker in different situations. Now, the thing is it anything to worry about? No, not really. All of the brokers are going to have similar rules that they follow as to, if you were to run into a low margin levels in your account, how the trades would be closed off in the event that you hit a margin call or something like that. And all of those things are laid out here in these documents. So it's really important that you just know what to expect. But do I have any reason to believe that FinPro Trading is an unethical broker? And my answer to that question is no, I don't. I've been trading live with them now for several months, and I've been dealing with them for about a year now, and I found them to be a really good broker. Now, one thing I do want to tell you is that, brokers, don't ever think that the broker's going to be your best friend. They're not. They can be really nice to you, and they can be really easy to work with and nice to work with, but they're not your best friend. You know, they're just not. They're a business. They're a business entity, and they're going to run their business under the rules of how their business structure is set up. Not that they're going to try to take advantage of you or be mean to you, but just because they're nice and friendly on the phone, don't misinterpret that to think that they can do you some kind of favor if you run your account into a situation that would be a margin call, because they're not going to do you any favors, especially not any special favors, just because you think that you're friends with, the rep at the broker. It's not going to happen. So people a lot of times get real friendly with some of the reps at the brokerage houses sometimes, and then those same people run their accounts into the ground, and then they badmouth the broker because they say, I thought they were my friend, and why didn't they do something to help me? Well, they can't do anything to help you if you're doing bad trading, okay? So everybody just needs to understand that, it's a business relationship that you have with the broker. It's not a friend's situation, no matter how friendly they are, okay? So I just don't want people to get caught up in that. So I'm going to check this box, the second one, for the customer agreement. Okay, so now officially, by checking these boxes, I have signed and dated these documents for my son, right? So then once we've done that, we're going to hit submit. And then you have to wait a minute while it does its thing. There. Okay, so once it has done that, it puts you back into the profile page where we now have all of our information on who we are and where our email and our address is, and we have a message here at the bottom that says our documents have been received and verification is pending. Okay, so as long as the verification is pending, the account is not open yet, right? Not officially. It will be opened officially once our documents have been verified by FinPro, and they'll take a look at them. They'll make sure everything's in order, and if they're not getting the information that they want, they will send you an email and say, please resubmit this form or that form or something. Is there a question? Yes, Mary.
Would a corporate trust account be handled the same way?
Yes, but there's more documents. So the best thing to do if you have a corporate account would be to go to the here, just a second, let me open another window. If you go to finprotrading.com, okay, for a corporate account, the best thing to do would be to go to finprotrading.com and then go down here to this chat window. I don't know, I'm going to make this box shorter so you can see the chat window. And it's a red box down here at the bottom of their website, and click on that, and then it will pop up, and tell them in the chat window that you need to open a corporate account, and they will send you a link that will be the corporate account application page. Okay, the thing is, corporate accounts work essentially the same way, but there are far more documents that you have to submit. Okay, because for a corporate account you will need to submit the corporate documents, and different kinds of identification and registration documents for the corporate entity. It's a far more tedious process to open a corporate account, but it's not any harder. It's just there's much more of it that you have to do. You have to submit the names and the identification of the principals of the corporation and things like that. So don't worry about it, but the thing to do would be to go to finprotrading.com, and in this chat window tell them the situation and ask them for a link to the proper registration page. Okay.
Another question.
Okay.
Can you enter a joint account with your spouse?
Yes, you can. And to do a joint account, again, you might have to go here to this chat window and tell them I would like this to be a joint account, and that's not a problem either. It's just the only difference is with a joint account, instead of one person's information, you're going to have two people's information. Okay, so that would definitely be something that you would need to go ahead and click on that red text message link directly into FinPro, and they can send you the proper link to the registration page for a joint account. Not a problem at all. Nothing different in the process. Okay. Now, once we're back here at our profile page, what we did is we updated our profile, and we went to the Documents tab and downloaded or uploaded, whatever you want to call it, the 2 required documents. Now, the thing is, to open your account and to fund your account, you do not need to put your bank details in here. But before you can withdraw money from your account, you have to click on this bank details. Okay? Now, on the bank details, what you need to do is you need to put in the bank name, where you do business, where you would want and this pertains to where you would want the money sent when you withdraw money. Okay? And the beneficiary name is you and your spouse, whatever that is. And then the account number, then you need the IBAN or the SWIFT code, and your bank can tell you what to fill in on these numbers. The IBAN is the International Bank registry number. Every bank in the world has a different IBAN number, and the SWIFT code is a similar thing that actually has, I can't remember if it's the IBAN or the SWIFT code. One of these numbers is shorter than the other, and inside one of these 2 numbers is the other number, but with more things, more stuff. Okay? Now, in the United States, we do not have Skrill or NetTeller or well, you might have a Bitcoin address. I don't know if you do or not. But don't worry about these e-wallet IDs, because we don't really use them in the United States. Okay? But you do not need to put in these bank details to fund your account. But you do need to put them in before you will be able to make a withdrawal. Okay? Now, if you want to fund your account with a credit card, which I really don't recommend, And it's not that I don't trust the broker with the credit cards. What I don't trust is the credit card processing companies that do the international transactions. And one of my students had an issue with exactly this situation a few months ago because he made a credit card deposit into a Forex account, not with this broker, but with another one of the brokers that I deal with. And he'd made $1,000 credit card deposit into his trading account. Well, he traded on the account for 3 or 4 weeks without any problem at all. And he was actually making money on the account, and everything was going fine. And then he got an email from the broker that said, there's a problem because we never actually received your deposit from the credit card processor. And so what they'd done is they had withdrawn the deposit that he had made into his account. They left the profit that he'd made in the account, but because of the fact that the credit card processing company was up to funny tricks, and had never actually deposited his deposit into the broker's bank, right? The broker had to withdraw those funds from the man's trading account. So, big mess. And the thing is, he didn't find out about it until weeks after, because the broker didn't find out about it until weeks after. And by then it was too late for his credit card company to backtrack the fees. So anyway, it's a big mess. And so I would suggest very highly that you do not use credit cards to fund your Forex accounts, especially when you're funding a Forex account overseas. Okay? It's not the brokers that are the issue. It's the credit card processing companies that are the issue. So, but if you do want to use a credit card, you do need to add your credit card details right here. And it tells you exactly how to do it. You will again have to upload a photograph of the card, but you have to do it in a very special way because you need to cover up part of the numbers. Okay, so you want a color copy of the front side of the card. The middle of the card number should be covered, leaving the first 6 digits and the last 4 digits. So what you would do is you would put a piece of tape over the middle digits in your credit card number. And if you send them a picture with the entire credit card number, what's happening is you're putting yourself at risk for some unscrupulous person somewhere along the way to know your entire credit card number. You never want that to happen. Okay? So you have to make sure when you take your photograph of your credit card that you do it exactly the way they're telling you here. And then the back side of your credit card has very specific information that they're looking for as well. So, and then you would submit that. But I recommend that you do not use credit cards to fund your Forex account.
Hey, question.
Yes.
They do not accept PayPal, do they?
No, they don't. Because they are a foreign company, they currently do not take PayPal, which is sad. But that's where the Skrill and NetTeller come in, because Skrill and NetTeller are essentially the PayPal equivalency, you know, like in Europe or in Asia, okay? And so they just haven't got on board with PayPal yet. And my guess is because PayPal charges such excessive fees, you know, And so I'm sure that that's why they don't. But here's the thing that I really like about this broker. Um, when you are ready to make a deposit, what you can do when you're in your account here. So you have all of these different tabs on the left side of this page that you come to for your account. When you're ready to make a deposit and you click on the deposit tab, um, it will list the deposits that you've made, which so far Brian hasn't made any, right? But when you're ready to deposit funds, you click on that, and that gives you all of the options. Oh, they have added PayPal. I think probably for emergencies, when people just have to get money there really quickly. But here's the thing about it. You always want to use the wire transfer, okay? Now, and the reason why I'm telling you to do a bank wire transfer, it takes longer. It can take up to 3 or 4 days depending on how early in the day you make the request at your bank. And because, see, most banks only do wire transfers for a few hours every day. And so if your request isn't in there before the time that they do their wire transfer work, then it will sit until the next day before it gets processed. And then to make a wire transfer from, say, Kansas in the United States to London, to a broker in London, what happens is my wire transfer might have to go through as many as 3 separate banks along the way before it gets where it's going. And just depending on timing, on how that happens, it could literally sit on somebody's desk for almost 24 hours at each step along the way before it's processed to the next place. Because my bank has to send it to Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo sends it across the ocean to Europe, and then some bank in Europe sends it from that receiving bank onto the bank of the brokerage company. And then the brokerage company, when the money gets into their account, then they have to then assign it to my trading account. So there's multiple steps in the process of funding your account. And so I've had it all happen in as little as less than 24 hours. But I've also had it take up to 4 days. Or if you accidentally get stuck in a weekend, it could be 5 or 6 days, because if some of these steps just happen to hit on a weekend where nothing's going to happen from Friday to Monday, right? You can have multiple days in there. But don't worry about it, because if there should never be an emergency situation where you're saying, I have to wire this money and it has to be there by noon tomorrow. Because if you're in that much of a panic, you're not doing something right, okay? Shouldn't be that situation. So anyway, but apparently they do have PayPal, which they've added. And it says instant payment up to 2 hours. So in an emergency, like if you were running out of margin in your account or something, you could probably put $1,000 or something dollars in via PayPal and have it be an almost instant deposit. And I'm sure that's what that's for. I'm sure that's why they've added that PayPal. But do not plan on using PayPal as your primary funding source for your for your account. But if you want to use the bank wire, the other thing is your bank is going to charge you a wire fee to send the money. But FinPro will pay you back whatever expense you are having to send the wire. And they paid me back, so I know for a fact that they do it. You have to make a request for that. But if your bank charged you $150 or something to make the wire transfer, what you do is you send FinPro an email and tell them my bank charged me $150 to send the wire, and they will say, oh, well, we'll reimburse that for you. You do have to prove to them what you paid. So what you do is what I did is I sent them my bank statement that showed the itemized charge for making the bank wire transfer, and they reimbursed it to me and put that much money in my trading account. So it doesn't cost anything to send them money. And this is the only broker I've ever used that actually paid my bank wire fees back to me. You know, I've always just been out that money with the other brokers. But you click on the deposit button right here, and what it will do is it will tell you everything that you need to know to make that bank wire happen. Anyway, what it does is, like if you're here in the United States, it tells you what you need to know, and you would give your bank this information to have them fill out the bank wire form. Okay, so anyway, that's where we are on doing your bank wire to fund the account. Now, they also have this Bitcoin exchange going on. And so I'm not into Bitcoin, but apparently you can use your Bitcoin wallet to fund your account or whatever. But I'm not into that. Okay. Now, some of these other things, when you're ready to make a withdrawal, then you just make a withdrawal request. But like I said, if you want to withdraw funds and have them sent to your bank account, which is the way you should do it, you should do a bank wire back into your bank account. They will not make the withdrawal if the bank account information is not already listed in your profile. So you don't need to fill out the bank information to make a deposit, but you do need to fill it out to make a withdrawal. Now, on this bonus stuff, you know what? Don't ever take these bonus things from any broker, because what happens is there's all kinds of stipulations. The thing is, nobody's going to give you money, okay? But you'll see these offers like, oh yeah, we'll give you 50% more than your deposit if you trade with us, and stuff like that. It's all, come on. It doesn't matter what broker it is. They all kind of do it because they're all competing with each other for business. But nobody's going to give you free money, okay? It's not going to happen. When you are in these programs for these bonus things where they're supposedly going to give you free money to trade with and stuff, you're paying for that, because your account, when it's in one of these bonus programs, is going to have higher spreads attached to your account, you know, higher commissions, you know, they're going to, you know, you're paying for that bonus in worse trading conditions. So it's just a come on, and don't do it. Don't do it. You know, they're going to list all kinds of bonuses that they've got going on where they'll give you this much money for this or that much money for that. You don't want it. You do not want it. What you want is you want to be treated fairly by your broker. You want low spreads. You want reasonable commissions. And you want a broker who is going to actually transact your trades when you tell them to. And that's really all you want from a broker. You know, if they're dealing with you honestly, then, you know, that is your bonus, to find a broker that will deal with you honestly. And this broker seems to. But all of these bonus programs, in the first place, they never just cough up money and give it to you. You have to trade, you know, so many hundreds or thousands of lots before they give you the bonus money. But trust me, you've paid for it. By the time they ever actually give you any bonus money, you've spent way more than that in higher spreads and higher fees and higher commissions than what you would have had if you had not taken the account that had the bonus stuff attached to it. Okay? So it's just really important that you know that. And the other thing that's important to know is when you go to your dashboard, then at the top, what happens, this is what the home page will look like every time you go into your account after this first time that you've opened it. It'll bring you into this page. And you start right up here where it says select trading account here. And so because Brian's account has not been approved yet, right now it says you don't have any live account yet. Please register. And he also doesn't have any demo accounts yet either. Okay, but on my account, when I go to this window, it shows 4 or 5 demo accounts and my live account. So there's a whole list of accounts, right? And that's what yours will look like too, sooner or later. But until your accounts have been approved, they won't show up in that list yet. So now, the other thing, too, that I want to make you aware of is I'm going to bring my actual trading account over here for a minute so that I can show you a couple of things. Now, my account is what is called an ECN account. And FinPro offers different kinds of accounts. But the ECN account is the one that's going to have the lowest spreads and the lowest commissions. And when you first open your account, what it's going to automatically do is generate you into an account with a leverage of 200 to 1, right? And you can then request the leverage to be up to 400 to 1, and I would recommend that you take the highest leverage you can have, because when I make a trade in my account, my live account here, if I were going to do a 1 mini lot trade, the margin requirement at 400 to 1 is about $25, right? For those of you that are trading in the United States, for a 1 mini lot trade, you're used to seeing a margin requirement of what, I can't even remember what it is now, $250 or $500 or something. Well, my margin requirement that I have charged against my account while those trades is open is about $25 or $30, depending on the pair. Now, the commission that I pay is about 25 cents per mini lot, and the spread on the most common pairs like Euro USD is anywhere from actually I've seen it go to 0 sometimes, no spread at all, up to usually about 2/10, sometimes 3/10 of a pip. Okay, so the trading conditions with FinPro are really, really good. So I think those of you who are used to trading in the United States will just be shocked at how much money in usable margin you'll have to trade with when you are trading with a broker that gives you higher leverage. Now that doesn't mean that you should just go make huge gigantic trades, but that's another class. That's the money management class that we'll be dealing with on specifically how you should size your trades, things like that. So now that we have our account established though, and we've registered for it, what we need to do is we need to go down and put the platform in, because this is your FinPro account, but this is not your FinPro trading account where you actually transact the trades, right? This is just the account that it's like the bank account where, you know, it's got your information, it's going to keep track of how much money you have, things like that. But this is not where you transact the trades. So to do that, we need to go down to this tab where it says Download Platform. So we're going to click on the Download Platform button. Now, FinPro offers a lot of different kinds of trading windows, if you want to use them that way, okay, if you want to think of them that way. But the trading platform that I use is MetaTrader 4, and I use it on a desktop computer. Okay, so I'm going to click on MT4 desktop, right? Now, if you trade on an iPhone, this is the link for the download for putting the FinPro MetaTrader 4 on your iPhone, and this is the link for putting the MetaTrader 4 on an Android phone, which is Samsung. That's the kind, I have a Samsung phone, so if I were going to put MetaTrader 4 on my phone, I would use this link. And I'm not really sure what, oh, I know what this is. MT4 Manager is not for us. It's for people who want to participate in the trade copying situation, which I would never ever do if I were you. So what we're going to do is we're going to double click on the MT4 desktop, or single click on it. Okay, and then what it's going to want to do, it's going to want to download that file, and it's going to put it in your download folder, right? So I'm going to go ahead and let it download into that folder. But now, when I open this download, what I'm going to get is a box like this that says, do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? And so I'll say yes. Okay, then when you do that, what happens is you get another box. Come on, let me move the box. There we go. That looks like this. Now what this is this is a disclaimer again that tells you about the risks associated with Forex. It talks about the terms and conditions and definitions of what's going on with MetaTrader. And so before you can proceed, you have to scroll through this, and I would suggest that you actually read it, because it's going to tell you things like, you know, if you have an internet issue or something like that, your trade might not transact where you think it should, things like that. So it will not proceed until you click the yes, I agree with the terms and licensing. And if you don't, let's say you read this and you go, oh no, I'm not doing that. I don't agree with that. Well, your only option is to agree or to cancel out of the entire process. So they will not negotiate with you. You can't say, oh, I agree to term 5.5, but I don't agree to 5.6. They're not going to negotiate with you. They're just going to say, okay, then that's fine, but they won't take your account. So you're either going to cancel and not be involved, or you're going to agree. It's kind of, it doesn't quite seem fair, but that's the way it is. And honestly, I've been signing these agreements for 20 years, and I've never had an issue, really. Most of the time it's just fine. The only broker I ever had a problem with, and I've dealt with probably, what, 10, at least 10 different brokers over the years. The only one that I ever had a problem with cheating me was FXCM, who ultimately, finally, this past year got kicked out of the United States completely because they have a history of cheating their customers and they weren't changing their ways. So once you hit, yes, I agree with the terms, and then you go to next, what's going to happen is it's going to automatically go into a download process on your computer. Now it will also automatically, oops, where did my box go? Automatically, what it will do is it will go into this web page of MQL5, and so when you get to this web page, there is absolutely nothing on this web page that you need to pay attention to. So just close this web page. But it freaks people out because when they hit the button to finish the download process, what happens is it automatically takes you into that web page, and it's not a web page that you need to look at. So just close it. You hear my alarms going off in the background. And then the next thing that will open up is it will allow you to access a trading account. Now, the first thing that it's going to do, it's going to, if you have accounts already, it's going to generate them in there. See, I have all these different accounts with FinPro, so it's automatically generating all the accounts I already have established. If you do not have an account, what will happen is these windows will not have anything in them. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, because I don't think that quite opened up the way it should have. Here's the way that it probably opened up on your screen. Okay, your screen probably looks something more like this, where you probably have 4 charts in a chart window down here, not 2. But what I want you to do on all 4 of those charts is just, and they're probably black instead of being white. So on 3 of the charts, just close them with the X right here, okay? And just leave one chart open. Now, you will also have a box like this that says terminal on the side right here, and it will probably open in a tab called journal, because you can see that down here along the bottom there are different tabs in that window. There's the journal tab, the exports, the code base, something that says market, something that says mailbox, and alerts. Okay, now the reason why there's not a tab that says trade yet is because we do not have an account assigned to this right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to the word file in the MetaTrader program, and we're going to go down and we're going to tell it to open an account. Now the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to open a demo account. So you want to click on where it says Turnkey FX Demo. Okay, the FinPro Trading, the company, the broker that we use, their MetaTrader 4 program is called Turnkey FX. And that's just something that you have to get used to. When you see Turnkey FX, it's the MetaTrader program associated with FinPro Trading. So if we want to tell it that we want a demo account, and then we hit next, and then if you have an existing demo account, you can click that button. But if we want to set up a new demo account, then we click on where it says new demo account, and then we hit next, and then we put in our name. And since I'm doing this for my son, I'm going to put in his name. See, I can't put my name in because I already have a bunch of accounts. So that's why things aren't working quite the same today. And his email address. Okay, and then his phone number. Okay, and then on your demo account, it's best to make it for the same approximate size that you will be opening your live account with. So if I was my son, he would be opening about a $10,000 live account. So I'm going to key in $10,000 here for the initial deposit. And the thing is, you can only get up to 1 to 400 leverage with FinPro. Now, I do use other brokers that offer me up to 500 to 1 leverage, but FinPro does not. FinPro, the highest leverage that you can get with FinPro is 400 to 1. So I'm going to put in 1 to 400 there. And then I'm going to hit I agree. So I'm agreeing for my son. And then I'm hitting next. And then when you get to this window, it's very important that you actually write down the login number that it gives you and the password. Don't worry about this investor password. It really doesn't mean anything. But you do, before you leave this window, you want to write down the number that they give you here in the login ID number and the password. And then you hit finish. Okay, now what that did is it added a tab to this window. See, we used to have journal, exports, code base, signal, market, mailbox, and alerts, right? Now we have this tab called trade. Now the tab called trade is the one that shows his balance, right? And the equity and the free margin. Well, because there's no open trades, all three of these numbers are currently the same thing, right? Then we also have trades for exposure, which until you have an open position, exposure won't have anything in it. See? So, why does, oh, I have no idea why that's showing exposure. It's probably reading some of my other accounts. And account history. So every time you close an account or make a change, so in the account history it's showing his balance deposit, right, of $10,000. So the only two tabs here that in the terminal window that you ever have to worry about really are the trade tab and this is where you will actually transact your trades, and the account history that will give you a history of what you've done, right? So then what we want to do is we want to go up to tools and change a few things in the tools to make sure that the program will remember the account number, and we won't have to key that in every time. So we're going to go to tools and then options. Now on the options, yes, Mary?
Can you open a demo account without giving bank information or funding the account by wire?
Yes, you can. If you don't want to fill in anything, here, let me move this out of the way for a minute. I know a lot of people are super sensitive. They really don't trust the broker yet, and I understand that. I didn't trust them for quite a while either. That's why I dealt with them for about a year before I opened my live account with them. But this broker's really proved to be wonderful. Now, so if you want to open a demo account and all you've done so far is put in your profile information, you can do that. So in your profile information, when you go to your dashboard, what you can do from the dashboard is you can open a demo account or a live account from your dashboard. So you would go here in your dashboard and you would go demo account, and you would select the leverage that you want on your demo account. Now the thing is, the only choice that it's going to give you is up to 200 to 1 initially. So you click on 200 to 1. And the same thing when you click on live account to create a live account, same thing. You will click on 200 to 1. To get the 400 to 1, you have to send them a request for a change. So once your account has been opened at 200 to 1, then you send them an email and you say, I would prefer 400 to 1 leverage, please. And they say, okay, no problem. And about 3 hours later, your account has been changed to 400 to 1 leverage. Okay. And then in the account type, you always want the ECN. Okay, that is the type of account that has the best trading conditions, the lowest spreads, and things like that. So do not open like micro accounts, or if you only want to open a few $100s, in which case I really wouldn't do it, because trust me, micro accounts, you're going to pay much higher spreads and things like that, much worse trading conditions. STP accounts, same thing, you're going to pay higher spreads. VIP accounts are a joke. The only kind of account you really want is an ECN. Now the thing is, to open an ECN account, there is a minimum deposit, and I think it might be $2,000, but honestly, I highly discourage people from opening a Forex accounts for less than $5,000, because if you can't afford $5,000 in your trading account, you probably shouldn't honestly be trading Forex, because when the smaller deposit you put into your trading account in Forex, the more likely it is you're going to lose your money, because you can only scale down your trades so far, right? If you have a big account, you can trade it like it's a small account, scale your trades down, and not put yourself in any risk whatsoever. But if you have a small account, you can only scale the trades down so far, and if you start running into trouble, what'll happen is you'll have to either take a loss on the trades, or you're going to be in a panic situation where you're trying to deposit more money, um, before your account margin calls. So it's just better to put as much money as you can in your Forex account, up to a reasonable point. But but I think that the minimum deposit to get the ECN account is, it's either 2,000 or 5,000. I'm not really sure which, but
Hey, Mindy, I had already opened up my account and I got as far as you did, and my trade thing was down at the bottom of the screen instead of the separate windows you showed. So I tried to click on it to move it up or to change where it came, and it disappeared.
well,
And the other, go ahead.
okay, we'll take care of that problem here in a minute when I get back over there.
And will you also? I can't seem to find on my screen where we check to see what the leverage amount is. Where'd you go to get that again?
Well, we'll do that when we get back over there to that page.
I already opened up an account up to this point, and so
Okay.
didn't realize. I mean, I didn't have to do all. I think I did most of the stuff already, and I was just trying to keep up with you.
Okay.
But thank you. I'm sorry I bothered you. Thank you.
No, that's okay. I realize I'm actually skipping kind of back and forth, more than I had intended to. So a lot of this is my fault. Okay, that we're not being quite as oh, quite, we're not going through the process quite the way we really should have. But you want the ECN type of an account. Now, when it tells you to select the currency, this is your home country currency. So in the United States, that would be USD. If you're someone who lives in Europe, it might be something other. It might be GBP or Euro or whatever. But for most of us today, it's going to be USD. And then when it says add funds, this is where you type in however much you want to put into the account. So I'm going to put in 10,000, right? Because that's what I'm doing for my son. And then you click on new MetaTrader account. Okay. So when you click on that, again, it'll say, alert, Brian, here's your account information. So actually what I just did is I opened him another now he has 2 demo accounts. Okay, but if we'd clicked on live account, would have been the same thing. You'd still get this message, right? So it gives you a trading account ID number, a password, and you have to write these numbers down. It will usually send you an email telling you what the trading ID number and the password is, but if you don't want to depend on that email getting to you, which sometimes they get lost, just trust me, write the numbers down while you see them on the screen, and then you can click here, it says, and that's going to take you back to that same process that we were in a few minutes ago, where it's going to download the information. But since we already did that, I'm going to go ahead and cancel out of this box. Okay? And go back over to this screen here. Now, when you first open the MetaTrader 4 program, this is kind of what it's going to look like. The only difference is this terminal window, instead of being on the top of the page, will be on the bottom of the page, and this window right here with the charts in it will be at the top of the page, and the navigator window and the market watch window will also be at the top of the page. So mine's just flipped over upside down, and I'm not really sure why. Okay, but yours won't be, and yours will be all black. You know, the charts will be all black instead of white, right? So don't worry about that. Now, one of the guys, I can't remember, David Keene said, all of a sudden he lost his terminal window, and so he can't find it. Well, let's just go ahead and close all of this stuff, and I'll show you what to do with this MetaTrader 4 thing. Okay, MetaTrader 4 is the trading platform, right? Now, MetaTrader 4 works as one big window, and within that window we can open sub windows. Okay, so if we wanted to open our terminal, which is where you actually transact the trades, what we would do is we would go up to view, and then we would come down to terminal. Now what you have to remember is the terminal is where you make your trades. Okay, so if I wanted to make a trade right now in this demo account, what I would do is, there's multiple ways of making trades, and I'll show you all of them, but the most common for new traders is you put your cursor in the terminal window underneath the balance on the account, right? And you right click, and when you right click it gives you a drop down box, and if we wanted to put in a new order, we would click on new order, and then in the list of pairs, it's got a drop down window, and we would go to Euro USD, right? Let's say we want to make a Euro USD trade, and then you pick the size of trade you want. Now you can highlight that number and type in anything you want, but what you have to remember is if you type in a 1.0, that is one full lot. Okay, now I recommend that you trade with mini lots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in 0.1, which is one mini lot. Okay, a mini lot is when you're transacting $10,000 worth of a product, okay, or 10,000 units of a product. A unit is not always a dollar. In the Euro USD it is, but one full lot is 100,000 units of a currency, right? So we're going to key in 0.1 for one mini lot, and then if I just want a market execution and I just want to tell the, you know, the trading platform that I just want to go into a buy or a sell right this instant, then I would click on sell or buy. So let's just go ahead and click in a sell. So when I hit sell and then I hit OK, what it did is it gave me a new position. So here's the order number, the time that my trade went in. It's a sell trade. It's one mini lot in the Euro USD. The price that it put me in at was 1.1866. Now the last digit here is a tenth of a pip, so it's 66.6 actually. And
may I ask a couple questions here?
Yeah.
I clicked on the trade. I went to the view and got my and went to terminal, and then my the terminal box came up at the bottom. It shows the balance. You said right click the balance. No, I did that.
Below
the box came up. I'm sorry.
Below the balance. See.
Well, the balance is shown.
Okay. See, here's my balance, my equity, and the margin that it just pulled off to be in this trade is $29.
Right.
Here's my free margin now. But yeah, to make a new order,
When I got the box to come up to enter a trade, the symbol box is grayed out, and there's no. When I click on it, there's no list.
okay, that's we can fix that. In fact, let's do that now. So, if we want to see the choices of trades, trade pairs, what we're going to do is we're going to go to View, and we're going to go to Market Watch. Now, I'm going to close the terminal window for a minute just so we can focus on the Market Watch window. Now, the Market Watch window, when you initially open your trading platform, will only have about 5 or 6 listings up here. And most of them may be grayed out. But here's what we're going to do. On any one of those entries, I want you to right click, and you'll get a drop down box, and I want you to go down and tell it to show all. Right here, show all. Now when you hit show all, what you're going to get is this huge long list of all of these different things that you can trade. Most of them are currency pairs, but as you scroll down through the list, some of them are things like gold and silver. Some of them are grayed out. Some of them are stocks and stock indices, like the entire European stock market, or the entire NASDAQ, or whatever. You know, so the thing is, these foreign brokers offer far more than just Forex, but you do not want to trade stocks in a Forex broker the same way that it's not a good idea to trade Forex with a stockbroker, right? So what we're going to do here on this list in the Market Watch window is we're going to delete all of the things that we don't want to trade. So what I'd like for you to do is scroll to the bottom of the list, because most of the stuff that we don't want is going to be on the lower part of the list, and click on the very bottom thing that says EUR-RUB. That's a currency pair, but we don't trade the ruble, so we're going to click on that one, and we're going to hit delete on our keyboard. Now that moves us up to the next one, which is the USD against the ruble. We don't want it, so we're going to hit delete. And then we go to the next one, and we're going to hit delete. Then we're going to hit one for that was kind of grayed out, so we're going to hit delete. And actually what you're going to do is you're going to continue to hit delete until you get up to the USD ZAR. So go ahead and hit delete through all of these ones that have the yellow background, and then this next set, and then the 3 green ones. So just keep hitting delete, and what that's doing, that's taking all of those issues off of your board, because you don't want them there. Okay, so now when we get to the USD ZAR, ZAR, say USD ZAR, hit delete. We don't trade it. We don't trade USD TRY, hit delete. I do not trade the USD SGD, so we hit delete. I don't trade the USD SEC, hit delete. USD PLN, hit delete. USD NOK, hit delete. USD Mexican Peso, hit delete. USD ILS, hit delete. USD HUF, hit delete. USD HDK, hit delete. USD DKK, hit delete. USD CZK, hit delete. USD CHN, China, hit delete. Okay, now NOK SEC, hit delete. GBP ZAR, hit delete. GBP TRY, hit delete. GBP SEK, hit delete. GBP PLN, hit delete. GBP NOK, hit delete. GBP HUF, hit delete. GBP DKK, delete. EUR-TRY, hit delete. EUR-SEC, hit delete. EUR-PLN, delete. EUR-NOK, hit delete. EUR-Mexican, hit delete. EUR-HUF, delete. EUR-DKK, delete. EUR-CZK, delete. Okay, once we get up to AUD-NZD, we're going to keep that one, okay? So don't hit delete on AUD-NZD. But AUD-NZD should be up here with the AUD stuff, right? So to put it up into the alphabetical order where it belongs, we're going to left click on AUD-NZD. We're going to carry it up the list and park it right under the AUD-JPY. So now we've got it in alphabetical order, okay? You with me on that? Now, the rest of these are the pairs that we do kind of want to keep. There should be 28 of them that I trade, and what it is, it's all of the pairs that you can create from the 8 major currencies in the world, which is the AUD, the Australian dollar, the CHF, which is the Swiss franc, the CAD, which is the Canadian dollar, the JPY, which is the Japanese yen, the NZD, which is the New Zealand dollar, the US dollar, and the EUR, the euro, and the GBP, which is the British pound. Okay, so of those 8 currencies, every combination that you can make out of those 8 currencies should be on this list, and there should be 28 of them. So let's count and see what we have left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Okay, so there's the 28 pairs that we actually trade. Right? So now the thing is, when we have this market watch window, sometimes we want to watch this window and sometimes we don't. But most of the time we really could care less in the market watch window what the bid and the ask prices are. So we really would like to have this window much smaller, to where we only see the pair names, right? But look what happens when I make the window narrow enough that I should only be able to see the pair names. All I get are these 3 columns of all jumbled up numbers. So what we do to fix that is we take the window wide again and we right click on any one of the entries and we go down and we hit on auto arrange. We're going to uncheck auto arrange, okay? And then when we make this box narrow, it covers up. Instead of auto sizing these columns, what it does is it lets us go ahead and make the box so narrow that we are covering up the information that we don't want to see. See? So now I can make my market watch window narrow where it's not in the way, because our goal is to make this entire MetaTrader window much smaller, okay, where it's not taking up the whole screen, because we don't.
On mine, the first 5 or 6 of them that were there are in a lighter color than the ones underneath it.
Those if they are grayed out, delete them. Those grayed
I
out.
tried to do that and it won't let me delete it.
Well, go to a different pair. Like if you click on EUR GBP or something, then you can go up and delete the EUR USD one. The ones that are gray, those are not pairs that you can make trades on. They might have the right names, but they're pairs that are set up for programmers who are testing software.
And where do you go to delete those, under view, or where do you?
Well, you right click
I get that.
to highlight them. Okay, do it this way. Go to File and open a new chart, and it doesn't matter what chart, any chart, and just open a new chart. If the chart that you're on is Euro USD, let's say that it's Euro USD, you will not be able to delete that gray one that says Euro USD. So if you change the chart by clicking on, let's say, just go grab GBP JPY on your market watch, click on GBP JPY, and then left click and drag GBP JPY over onto the chart. That will.
You know, the work that I did on the Euro USD on the chart is all gone away now, and it's black and green.
Don't worry about that. We'll fix it. Don't worry. We'll get you fixed up. Because we're not going to use these MetaTrader charts anyway. By tomorrow, we'll be using better charting. So don't worry about it. So if you turn the chart into a GBP JPY chart, then you should be able to go up and click on that gray Euro USD and hit delete, and it will go away.
They still didn't move. I hit the new chart and I clicked on the on those gray ones, and I'm hitting delete. It doesn't go away.
Well, if you have one of those gray ones over here on the chart, it won't let you delete it. That's why you have to make the chart some other pair, and then go click on the gray one, and it should delete it. Let you delete it.
Okay.
Now, if it doesn't, don't worry about it, because just remember that when you're trying to make a trade in Euro USD, you have to go down to the one that is not grayed out. Because if you're clicked on that one that's grayed out, it won't let you transact a trade off of it. You have to go to the one that's not grayed out to be able to transact a trade.
Okay.
Okay. So, don't worry too much about it if it's not doing exactly what it said or what I'm saying it should do, because what we'll do for people who have sometimes some people's software does on their computer version or whatever, and it won't work exactly the same as mine. And if that's the case, then I will work with you individually until we can get it fixed on your specific computer. So I'm never going to leave you guys hanging. You don't need to worry about that. If something in the class that I'm doing doesn't pan out exactly the way that I said it should, just get back with me and we'll make it work on your system, on your computer. So you don't have to worry. I won't say, well, this is the way it is because I said so, and that's all I'm going to say about it. I'll never do that to you. Never, ever, ever. I will always make sure that before I'm finished with helping you, it'll be right. Okay? So, not to worry. And, but anyway, that's how we set up which pairs we want to have show in our watch list. Now, the other thing that we need to do, though, is we need to go up to the tools And then we need to come down to options and make a few changes in the options to make sure that the information that we want in our MetaTrader program is the way that we want it the next time the MetaTrader program opens. So let's just go through each tab individually, and I'll have you set them up the way that I do. So the first tab is the server tab. Now there's not a lot in there to change because it's going to tell you that this account is on the demo server. It's going to tell you what the account number is and the password. And if you want to change the password, you can do that by hitting this change button. But I honestly would recommend that you just leave the passwords as they give them to you. Now, you do not want to have a check mark on Enable Proxy Server. But you do want a check mark where it says Keep Personal Settings and Data at Startup. And if you have this checked, the next time you open your MetaTrader program, it will automatically open. You know, you will not have to key in the password every time. It will automatically open to this account. And then uncheck the other two boxes, Enable DDE Server and Enable News. Uncheck those. Then let's go to the Charts tab for a minute. And the only box that I have checked on my charts is the top one where it says Show Trade Levels. And other than that, I uncheck everything. And with maximum bars in history, I always change that to 5,000, which you can actually key in, or you can click the drop down arrow and select it. And I use 5,000 on both of the boxes. So then we go to the Objects tab, and I have nothing checked because I don't really use these charts that much, right? So, and then I have the magnet sensitivity set at 10 pixels, which isn't really any big deal. And then on the Trade tab, now here's where we do need to key some things in. Now, symbol by default. If you were only going to trade one pair, and there's some people who do that, they would trade only the Euro USD pair and nothing else, then you would want to click Default and then type in the pair name that you want to trade, right? Because all of your orders will default to that symbol every time. But I don't trade just one pair, so I leave mine on automatic. Now the size by default, I recommend that you always trade with 1 mini lot trades, especially when you are a new trader. You can always increase the size of your trade, but if you have this set as default and 0.10, that means that you can never accidentally have your program do a trade for 1 full lot or 2 full lots or something accidentally, because it's going to default to a trade size of 1 mini lot. And that's what I recommend. You can always make the trade bigger, but if you have it set for something other than 1 mini lot, it's very easy to accidentally end up with a 10 lot trade or something that you don't want. So default 0.10 right there. And then deviation by default, this is how the MetaTrader determines how much flexibility you want in getting in a trade. So if you want to deviate a little bit, what that means is that, you know, sometimes between the time you hit the button to say that you want to trade and the time that that trade actually gets to through the processing of the internet and the servers and everything. If the price has changed very much, you might think you're going into a trade at one spot and actually get into your trade maybe several pips away from where you thought you were entering. So by changing the deviation by default, it will limit how much deviation the price can change before it puts your order in. And I always use it as 0. Because if I can't get in where I want in, I don't want in the trade at all, right? So I always put the deviation by default set at default and at 0, okay? And then you do want to go ahead and click the one-click trading. Now what that means is that you can transact your trades with one click instead of having the window come up that says, did you really want to do this trade? So I do click that. To make that take effect, you have to read the disclaimer and accept the terms and conditions. Now the thing about one-click trading is you have to be careful, because if you accidentally one-click on the wrong thing, you're going to have a trade. Because it's not going to give you that box that says, did you really want to make this trade, right? So you have to know that going into it. Okay, then the
If you click it twice, does that mean that you bought it twice?
That's correct.
Okay.
If you have one-click trading on and you accidentally, like, let me show you. There's multiple ways to make trades. There's the way that I showed you, where you go down here and you go into a new order box. There's that way of making trades. There's also, you can trade from the chart by clicking here or here, and that would automatically.
I don't have those little boxes on my chart yet.
Not yet, but you will. Here's how you get. Here's how you get them. See the little caret beside the chart name at the top?
Yeah.
If you click that caret, it brings up what I call the blinky box, because they kind of blink, because they change from red to blue, whatever the last price was. If it was higher, it's blue. If it's lower, it's red. So I call them blinky boxes because they kind of blink back and forth as the price changes.
Where was the blinking box again?
It's right here, this tiny little caret on the charts. See, right before the pair name. If you click the caret one time, it brings it up. But the thing is,
I don't have the little blinky thing on mine.
Well, are you using the one on your phone?
No.
Oh, see this little caret right here? Here's the pair name on the chart, and there's this tiny little caret here. If you click that caret, it brings that blinky box up. And if you click that caret again, it puts it away.
I don't have that little caret. I don't seem to have that.
Try a different.
I have the Euro USD.
If you're on the grayed out Euro USD, you won't have the caret because you can't trade that pair. Go down and click on a different pair. Left click, bring that pair over onto the chart, and then you should have that little caret. If it's a grayed out pair name that you were talking about before, those are not tradable pairs, so they will not have the blinky box.
That worked.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now, if you want to go to your USD, go down and find the other Euro USD down in your list. Left click on it and drag it over onto the chart, and then you should have the Euro USD blinky box available. Okay, but anyway, the thing is, when you have that one-click trading and you have the blinky boxes open, if you go up here, or your cat, my cat's traded for me before where she's accidentally scrolled it over to the blinky box and then just started petting the keyboard, and I had, like 20 trades in Euro USD. Luckily, they were all just one mini lot. Because by default, my account was set to do 1 mini lot trades and not, thank God, you know, full lot trades, or I would have had a major problem on my hand, right? So anyway, your cats and dogs will help you trade sometimes when you least expect it. So you have to be careful where you leave your cursor on your monitor. Things like that. Just be careful, people, because this is real money that we're dealing with. So anyway, the next tab is the Expert Advisors tab, and you don't yet have any expert advisors, so it doesn't really matter what's checked here. But I do use some expert advisors, so I have the first line checked, and then I have this line right here, add DLL imports. Those are the only two boxes.
You don't need, Minnie, I'm sorry, doing all that checking that you told me to check, I lost my box that you have. How did you get the box here that's on the screen now?
Okay, you go to Tools at the top, and then you go to Options, and that brings up this Options box.
Gotcha. Sorry, thank you.
That's fine. And then on notifications, I do not use this because I'm here with my program all the time. So, and if I was going to use notifications, I'd be using them out of Thinkorswim and not MetaTrader anyway. But you can set this up to where it will send you like an email or whatever, if you know you have it set up to send you an email if some price hits some number. I don't use this box, but it's there. And then the FTP, you don't need to worry about filling anything in there. And then the Events tab, I uncheck it, because if you leave it checked, every time your MetaTrader does anything, it's going to make some sound. And I'm just a very quiet person, and I can't stand having the thing making dings and bings and bells and crap every 10 seconds. So I just uncheck that box completely. And then the Community tab, there's nothing that you need there. And the Signals tab, there's nothing that you need there. So now we have all of our settings done, so we can hit OK. Okay, so now we don't have to worry about it, because the next time we open our MetaTrader 4 program, it's going to be set up the way we want it set up. Now, I said earlier, what we don't want is for this MetaTrader window to take up our whole monitor. Now, right now, yours will look like this. So, and it's taking up the entire monitor. We don't really want to waste that much monitor space for this program. So, right up here, beside the X to close the program, there's two little boxes on top of each other. If you click those one time and make it to where there's only one square box up here, then down here in the bottom, you will see these slashed lines in the corner, and you can grab those lines and size the MetaTrader window and make it smaller. And I would recommend about this size, for right now, make it about 1/4 of the size of your monitor. About like that. That's plenty of space. So what we have here is we still have our Market Watch window, right? But now we have a scroll bar because the window isn't tall enough to see the whole Market Watch window, which is fine because we don't need to see all of it all the time. Now, there's nothing here though. So let's go ahead and open another window. So we're going to go to View, and let's open our Terminal window. So we go to Terminal and click on it. Okay, now what that did is it put the Market Watch window under here, right? And the Terminal window is now taking up most of the space. So if we want to change the size of the Terminal window, we can do that. what we do is we right click on it, and no, that's not what I want to do. Just a second. I cannot figure out what I have done to screw up the layout. Anyway, we can make it shorter or taller by just dragging the bottom of it like this. Let me close the Market Watch window for a second. Okay, oh no, my Market Watch window disappeared. So what happens if I take the terminal window, make it that big, and then open the Market Watch window again? That didn't work the way that I wanted it to either. Goodness. Jeez. I'm not sure what I have done to mess up my terminal here. But you can actually take your terminal window completely out of your MetaTrader. It's the only window that it lets you do that with. But see, what I did is I took the terminal window out of the MetaTrader program, outside of it. And sometimes I actually use it this way because, like I said, I don't watch the charts and stuff in the MetaTrader 4 because I watch the charts from my Thinkorswim platform, right? So with the MetaTrader 4, really the only part of it that I'm really interested in at any given time is the terminal. And as we see, that trade that I entered earlier, right, the commission for that trade was 24 cents. The margin that was charged to open the trade was $29.67. And right now the trade is 10 cents profitable. But it's really not 10 cents profitable because the profit column over here does not take into account the commission. See? So the trade has to be more than 24 cents profitable before I close it for it to close profitably. So now if I had been sitting on this trade for several days and there was a swap fee involved, I would want to make sure that the profit column was more money than the commission plus the swap fee if I wanted the trade to close profitably. Are you with me on that? So this profit column does not take into account the commission or the swap fee. That's why the number here on this line is negative 10 cents, and the number down here for the total, and I've only got one trade, is currently negative 34 cents. See? But anyway, I was going to click the close button, click the X, to close that trade a few minutes ago when it was profitable, just so I could show you what it looks like in the account history window. So what we'll do is we'll just wait for that trade to get profitable again, and the next time that I see it when it's profitable, I'm going to close it with the X just so I can show you what it looks like in the account history window. Okay, but for some reason, I have no idea why, I'm just going to move this over here for a minute, and I'm going to make this window smaller again. And for right now, I'm going to close the Market Watch window. Now, if we want to add a chart, you're going, well, this doesn't do any good with no chart at all, right? So to open a chart, we go to File, and we say New Chart. And then you can pick out what pair you want that chart to be in. So let's go and pick out, Euro USD. Now, not the grayed out one. You want to go down into the list, right? So what it's going to do, it's going to open a chart. Now, the chart initially might open to where it's taking up your entire screen like this. But on the charts, as long as you can get to either the bottom edge, the right hand edge, the top edge, or the left edge, you can grab the edge of the chart and make it smaller or larger, whatever you need to do. And often what I do on my MetaTrader window is I open the little blinky boxes, right? And then what I do, because I'm not doing any charting in this software, I literally take the window, the chart window, and I squish it up to where the only thing I'm seeing is the blinky box, right? The reason I do that, now I'm going to go open another chart. Let's say that I also want to see the AUD USD. So I'm going to open the blinky box, close up the chart like this, right? Set it right up here beside the next one. Then I'm going to go open another chart, and this time maybe I want to do, I also want to watch the USD JPY pair. I'm going to open the blinky box, close up the chart. Now see, you can put as many of these teeny itty bitty charts as you want, because we're not watching charts in here anyway, right? But here's the thing, with those blinky boxes open, what can I do if I want to make a trade really quickly? Let's say all of a sudden I see something that I like in USD JPY, and I want to go up here and I want to sell it, and I want to do it right now. I just, the first time you have this message, that only happens the first time. But I just go up here and I say, sell it, baby. So now on my terminal window, what I have is I still have my trade for Euro USD, which is now $2.20 negative, but I also have an instant trade for USD JPY, right? Now, now see, the commission is a little different on that one. The commission on this one is 20 cents instead of 24 cents. The reason it's different is because 10,000 units of USD JPY is not the same dollar value as 10,000 units, 1 mini lot, of Euro USD. See? So, right now, my USD JPY trade is profitable by about 20 cents, right? Because I've got 20 cents in commission and I've got 44 cents profit. So as long as the profit number is more than the commission number, this trade is profitable. And it charged me some more margin. We had about $29 in the margin requirement on the Euro USD, and now I have $54. So that means that the margin required for the USD JPY is also less, right? So now I'm going to go close this one because it's profitable. There. Okay, so I just closed a profitable trade, and if I want to go to the account history, I can now see that in this account I have a deposit balance of $10,000 and I have a profitable close trade of 88 cents. See? So now the balance on my account is $10,000.68. See, it took off the 20 cents of the commission. So the trade line says I made 88 cents, but the actual profit says I made 68 cents, right? The difference is that commission. The commission is not itemized in the columns on the account history tab. You have to be aware of that, okay? But when we go back to our trade tab, now what it says is that the balance is 68 cents higher than it started with. But the equity is not, because the equity is taking out the negativeness of the current open position that is underwater. You with me on that? The balance number only includes the initial deposit plus closed positions. The equity shows you the balance minus any negative trade going on, and the margin tells you how much is being held out temporarily while this trade is open, and the free margin is how much money I have to work with. So it's the balance minus the negative PL here and minus whatever margin is being currently withheld as a deposit on the trades. Is everybody with me on that? So anyway, we still have the one currently negative trade, but the thing is, by setting up your charts in MetaTrader like this, when you see something on your Thinkorswim charts, it tells you it's time to go in a trade or whatever. You can have as many of these little charts as you want, and you can go up and click on buy or sell and instantly be in a position in those trades. Now
Can you set a buy or sell at a price different than market?
Absolutely. Now that's where you would go in here and do the market, the new order. So let's say that I was watching charts and I was saying, man, if the USD JPY goes down to 11300, I'm going to want to do a buy. So I'd make sure that I have the right pair up here, USD JPY, and I don't want to do a market order because I don't want to go in right now. What I want to do is I want to do a pending order. And if I wanted to do a buy below where the current price is, that would be a buy limit order. And so you click one time on either one of these buttons, and that's going to put your entry line right in the middle of where the price is. And then what you do is you go and you backspace over that price and to whatever number you want it to be, and then you hit place. So now what I have is I have an order for a buy limit of 1 mini lot in USD JPY if the price goes to 113.00. Remember, this last digit is 1/10 of a pip, so we ignore it.
Right.
So
it looked like the buy box was sort of grayed out, meaning that you couldn't change it. Is that true? When you entered this order?
well, let's go back and look. Okay,
It
see,
looks like, no, I guess not.
I'm wanting to do a buy
Now,
limit. Now,
you get that box that you just drop down box from. What did you do to get that drop down box that we're looking at right now? Where did you go?
Okay, here, we're going to do it again. Okay, so if I want to put in an order either above the price or below a price, but not a market order that would go in right now, I'm going to right click anywhere below the balance line in the white area of the terminal window. And I'm going to right click, I'm going to go to new order, and that brings up this order box. The first thing you always want to check is what pair you're on. Now, it's going to default to the last pair that you traded. So if you want to change it, if we wanted a Euro USD, all you have to do is put your cursor over the symbol area, and when it turns blue, all you have to do is type in on your keyboard the first letter of the pair that you're looking for. So if I'm looking for Euro USD, I'm not left clicking or right clicking or anything. I'm just typing an E on my keyboard. And every time I hit the E on my keyboard, it's going to toggle through the choices of pair names that start with E. Okay? So here we go. EUR-JPY, EUR-NZD, EUR-USD. See, if I just keep toggling, it's just going to keep revolving around all of the pairs that start with E. And then let's say I want EUR-USD. So once I'm on EUR-USD, I just move the cursor off of that box. See, when I have the cursor on it, it's blue, and I can change the pair to anything I want. If I want an NZD pair, I just start clicking N's. If I want a GB...
You can't, there's a little check mark over to the left on that blue box. You just can't check on it, and it's a drop down.
You can, but I think it's faster.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you
Okay,
could go here and pick out what you want. I've just found it's faster just to start clicking E's until you get to the one you want. But
Understood.
But a lot of that is because I'm visually impaired, and when I try to look at this, all I see is a big blur. When I look at this, but that's a lot of that is because I'm visually impaired. But when I'm only looking at one entry at a time, I can usually tell by the shape over here what pair it is, because I can't really see the numbers and the letters very good. But so anyway, to make that trade though, you always want to check what size the trade is. But if you've set your options to default at 1 mini lot, that's what you're going to have. If you want to change it to 5 mini lots, you can do that, but it's going to default to 1 mini lot, which will keep you out of trouble, because if you don't have that default set at 1 mini lot, if you took a 8 mini lot trade the last time, it's going to default to an 8 mini lot trade this time unless you change it. So you do not want to set yourself up for accidentally making bigger trades than you would want in anything. So you can also set a stop loss or a take profit limit at the time that you're putting the order in, but I don't usually do that. But it will not let you make the wrong kind of a trade. So let's say that I want a pending order, and there's 4 kinds of pending orders. There's buy limits, sell limits, buy stops, and sell stops. On a buy trade, if you're looking for a price below where the price currently is, that would be a buy limit. If you're looking to do a buy at a price higher than what the current price is, that would be a buy stop. If you're looking for a sell trade below the current price, that would be a sell stop. And if you're looking for a sell trade above the current price, that would be a sell limit. But it won't let you make the wrong choice. So if I'm trying to do a buy trade and I have buy limit selected, and I'm saying to myself, I want to do a buy if the price goes up to 118.70. See? So I'm saying if the price goes up to here, I want to do a buy, and then I hit place. It says, nope, you can't do that because I cannot put a buy limit above the current price. So I go, oh, okay, what did I do wrong? And then I look and I say, oh, it's a buy limit, and I'm looking for a price above the current price. I can't do that. It must be a buy stop that I want. So then I put that in and it takes it. Now, I don't really want that, so I'm going to close it right now. But it will not let you put in the wrong kind of an order, okay, when you're looking for orders to go in at higher or lower prices than what the current price is. So don't worry too much about, if you really have a hard time understanding the difference of when you want a limit order and when you want a stop order as an entry position, don't worry too much about it, because there's only two choices, for buys and two choices for sells. So if you have the wrong one, it's going to tell you when you try to place the order. And if you have the wrong one, then there's only one other choice for the trade that you're trying to input. So it's pretty easy. Okay, let's look at something. My trade up here on Euro USD is profitable, say 110, but really it's only 76 cents here. I'm closing that puppy. Okay, there, I closed that trade for a small profit because it wasn't even a trade that I wanted anyway. I was just putting it in to show you the example. Okay, so so far I have closed two trades, one for 88 cents, one for 80 cents. So theoretically that would be $1.68, right? But the total is really only $1.24 because it has debited out the commission, which is not itemized in these columns. So the account has made $1.24. When I go to the trade tab, and that's the account history here. See, these are the only two tabs we're really going to use. The trade tab, which has our current trades in it, and the account history tab, which shows us our closed trades. Now this trade right here that doesn't have a number in the profit column is because that was in order that I closed before it ever got to be a trade. Remember, I had put this order in, but I didn't really want it, so I clicked the X. So it shows up in the account history, but it shows up without any profit because it never got to be a trade. It was just an order. So I have this other order out here. So if I close this order and then I go to the account history, now I have two itemized lines that have no profit because they were just orders that closed before they got to be trades. Okay?
Okay, question.
Yes.
Does the broker charge you to withdraw funds?
No, they do not. So you don't have to worry about that. Not only do they reimburse you the cost of your bank for the wire transfer fee to deposit into your account, there is no charge for withdrawals. None.
If you make subsequent withdrawals from your initial deposit, can it just be automated, or is it back there where you did the bank account information? Can you just
So what you're saying is, can you set it up to where every month it automatically withdraws $1,000 and sends it to you?
no, can I, if I wanted to do it manually? Yeah, well, that may be, or if I just wanted to do it myself every month, put $1,000 in, can I do that automatically without having to do a wire transfer?
No. You'd have to do a new transfer every month. In or out. A new request. When you want to make a deposit or a withdrawal, when you go into your account here. Now this is the account, remember, that you set up the password on. I guess I should show you that. I'm going to close this window and this window. Okay, now let's say that, and this was your situation earlier in the week, David, when you didn't know how to get to your account. What you do is you open a new internet window, and then you go to FinPro selecttrading.com. That's going to put you right here where we started out this morning. But instead of going to the place where we were going to register, we're going to hit right here where it says log in. Now, the account that I just opened today for my son Brian is, I'm going to put his information in here. And then I'm going to type in the password that I set up for him today. And then I'm going to hit log me in. Now what that did is that took us right back to Brian's dashboard page. Remember? Now, since he now has a demo account, when we select up here on select trading account here, and then I select this demo account that I set up for him, it shows us that, oh, those trades aren't showing. I think, okay, what happened is somehow or another he actually got 2 demo accounts, and this is the one that I haven't made trades in. Or something. I don't know. But anyway, it'll give you the itemization of what's going on with your different accounts. And so if this was the other account number, just a second, 70023. See, okay, see, this is a different account number. The one that I made the trades in is 70023, and this one is 70024. And apparently the 70023 is not associated with his name because I opened it a different way. So, but anyway, if I was, you know, if I hadn't screwed up earlier, then it would show us right now the new equity, the new balance, the new free margin, unrealized profit or loss if there was open positions in the account. See? So, and then with my account, when I click on this box up here, I have a whole list of different demo accounts and live accounts because I have a lot of accounts with this broker. But getting back to making deposits, you would have to actually make a new deposit request or a withdraw request for each time that you wanted to do it, to make a deposit or a withdrawal. And
additional deposits have to be wire transferred. I have to go to the bank to do that.
Well, they don't have to be, but I'm telling you that that's the most secure way to make a deposit, because the problem with credit card deposits, it's not that the broker's gonna screw you over, it's the companies that are the international credit card processors who...
What about the next one that says the bank transfer?
Well, that is the wire transfer. That's what that is. See, we're on the deposit funds. You know,
Okay. Okay.
When it said bank transfer, what it meant was wire.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
the one thing that you have to remember with foreign brokers is sometimes some things are kind of lost in translation. Now with this broker is in London, England, and so they're really good about speaking American English, and they're very easy to communicate with. But some of the other brokers that I use that are in Eastern Europe, you know, sometimes communicating is more difficult because they don't really understand the nuances of American English. And so sometimes it's just more confusing. It's not that you can't get done what you need to do, but sometimes you have to explain it 4 times to them before they understand the words that you're using, because we use a lot of slang and things. And this is one of those situations where that slang issue is coming through, because in one place they have it as bank transfer and somewhere else they have it wire transfer, but it's the same thing.
So every time you make a deposit, you're going to end up paying a wire transfer fee.
Yeah, you will.
Okay.
But every time you make a deposit, they will reimburse that cost to you. This broker does not make. If your bank charges you $50 or $75 to do a wire transfer, after that transfer is finished, you send them an email and you say, would you please reimburse me my charges, and you send them a screenshot of your bank statement and say, here is the fee I had to pay to make this deposit, and they will reimburse you by putting whatever that amount is into your trading account. They're very good about it, but you do have to request it each time.
And I have to send them a copy of my bank statement every time to do that.
Just what I did is I sent them a screenshot where I had literally blurred out all of the transactions in my bank account except that line, those 2 lines, and they were right by each other. One was the withdrawal amount, and the next line down was the bank wire fee. So what I did is I blurred out my statement so that they couldn't see any of my other balance or transactions or anything. But that's what I did, and they were fine with it. But yeah, when you're sending them your bank statement to prove that it's your account and stuff like that, blur out all of the transactions and the balance information, because it's not their business and they don't even care. All they're really looking for is to see that the bank account is in fact in your name, and then they need the bank information and the account number. So but no, they couldn't care less how much money you have in the bank. That's not what they're into at all. So I just blur all of that detail information out when I have to send a statement. Just send them what's applicable to them, and all it would be is showing them, here was the deposit and here's what the bank charged me to send it to you, and they'll reimburse it to you in a matter of a day or so. They don't take very long to do it. I've been really happy with this FinPro trading company. But what I'm most happy with is the fact that their trading conditions are so cheap. Okay, now see, a while ago when I was showing you the balance, now the balance, the equity, and the free margin or usable margin, depending, some brokers call this usable margin, some call it free margin. Now all 3 of those numbers are the same because I don't have any open positions. So the account is actually now realized a $1.24 profit off of these 2 trades that we closed profitably. So anyway, that's how you do that. But now what I'm going to try to do is put this terminal window, let me first make it a little shorter. I'm going to try to put this back inside. Whoa, what happened there? There. Okay, now I've put the terminal window back inside of the MetaTrader window. And see, I can make that terminal however tall it needs to be. Sometimes, most of the time, it doesn't need to be more than about this tall, because you might have 4 or 5 orders and you might have 4 or 5 open positions, right? Other times you might have 20 open positions and 30 orders, in which case you'd want this window to be much taller. But the thing is, I like to kind of keep my entire MetaTrader window about as small as I need it to be at any given time. And usually, I am not actively trading more than 3 or 4 pairs at a time. So those are the only ones that I have these little blinky box windows open, you know, at one time. So let's say I want to go ahead and add one more. Let's do maybe USD CAD or something. So what I'll do is I just open it up, size it the way I want, pull it over here, put it in position, open the blinky box on it, make the window just a little bit wider, and there you go. So if I wanted to, I'd be watching my charts now on Thinkorswim on a different monitor, and then anytime I see what I want, I can just go in here and bing, bang, boom, be in whatever trades I want instantly, or if I want to set the trades up to go in at specific numbers, you know, whatever, then I do it through this order window using pending orders as either buy limits, sell limits, buy stops, or sell stops. Is everybody good to go on that part? Now what I do generally is when I'm watching my charts, I use multiple computers, as you guys know, and I'll have one monitor set up where I have the actual trading account right here, you know, over here in the corner of the monitor, and then maybe I have my email window, you know, over here, you know, where I can watch my email account, and this would be my email account. I'd have all my emails here, and then I might have another internet window here. Now the thing is, most of the time, unless you're doing something with making a withdrawal or making a deposit, you do not need to have this FinPro account window open pretty much any time. I never open this FinPro trading account window unless I'm changing something in my profile, or I'm making a deposit or making a withdrawal. But most of the time you don't care about this, because the one that you care about is the turnkey MetaTrader 4 window where you actually transact your trades. But what I do is, on one of my monitors, is I'm watching usually either, you know, a Forex calendar or something, so that I know what might be coming up that could cause a market move, right? Or I'm reading news or something on the internet, you know, like I'd have my email account here so I could always have access to new emails. I'd have an internet window here where I'm watching the calendar or reading news. I have this window here where I'm actually transacting my trades. And then on my other monitors, I have my actual charts in Thinkorswim. And that way, I can watch the charts on one computer and transact the trades here on this monitor. And I don't have to worry about having a situation where I'm trying to, you know, have my trading window on top of my charts, or vice versa, where I can't find it when I want it and stuff like that. So I always use, at a minimum, 2 monitors, and I really recommend 3, because the more charts the better, right? And actually what I use is, I'm sitting here in front of about 17 monitors, and because I like to watch full sets of charts on lots of different pairs at the same time. And I do this literally for a living, and I teach other people how to do it for a living. So right now I'm watching 4 monitors that are nothing but daily charts. You know, one little slice of daily charts on all the 28 pairs. I'm watching 4 other monitors where I have a full set of charts on singular pairs. And then I'm watching another monitor that has 2-hour yellow box charts on it, which those of you who are familiar with my trading will know what I'm talking about. And those of you who don't know what I'm talking about will understand if you take the class tomorrow afternoon, where I'll teach you how to set up the Thinkorswim charts. So I'm sitting here in front of tons of charts. I mean monitors. Tons of charts on tons of monitors. But that's not really necessary for you to be a functional trader. Actually, 3 monitors is the perfect setup for a full-time trader. You have 2 monitors with charts and 1 monitor with all this other stuff, and you are good to go to trade like a pro. 2 monitors is acceptable, and you know, 1 monitor is doable, but it's harder. So anyway, because it's hard to have all your charts and your trading platform all on 1 monitor, because you got to layer stuff around so that you can, you know, pull whatever you need to the front when you need it in the front, stuff like that. So anyway, that is kind of what we had for today. So my question is, I think, does anybody have any questions about understanding the difference between the MetaTrader 4 account from FinPro, which is called Turnkey, and it's where you actually transact the trades, the difference between this account and your actual FinPro account, which really is nothing more than the back office part.
Ooh, would you mind showing me again where we go to get the app for the iPhone?
Okay. Now where that would be here in your FinPro trading portal. Okay, the one that you go to from the internet. And then you would go to download platforms. And then what you would want to do, you want the MetaTrader 4 one, the one in the middle. And then depending on if you have an iPhone, an Apple iPhone, you would want this one. And if you have a Android phone, which would be Samsung, then it would be this one. And you will never want this MT4 manager. So the MT4 desktop is for your regular desktop computer or a laptop. A laptop computer would also be this top one. Then Apple iPhones here, Android iPhones, they're not iPhones, smartphones here. So these are the 3 that would be applicable to us. And then, but I do think, though, to get to these links, you are going to have to open an internet window on your phone and go to your portal.
Okay, question for you.
Okay.
Do you need 2 accounts, PAX US and FinPro?
PAX is a different broker. And honestly, I've been doing business with PAX for several years. And I like PAX, but their trading conditions are nowhere close to being as good as what they are at FinPro. And so, honestly, I'm recommending FinPro because there's just there's no comparison. Because with PAX, and let me see if I can show you the difference. Let me see if I still have a PAX account open on this computer. The problem is I don't typically keep my live accounts on the computers that I use to teach on. And because most of my live accounts I keep on a on a private network and everything. So I'm not sure if I have a PAX account on here. Just bear with me a minute. And I do. Okay, now this is a demo account. These are orders, but that are in here that I put in there to match one of my students' things. Okay, so let's go to yeah, where's the market watch? There's no market watch in here. This really isn't set up, but okay, so USD CAD. Here's the thing. I don't know if we want buys or sells in USD CAD. I have no idea. Here, I'll just go throw in a buy here. Okay, now see the spread here, 87.9 to 91.6. Okay, that's about a 2.5 pip spread. Well, here's the spread over here on FinPro is like right at a 1/2 of a pip. Would you rather work through a spread of 2.5 to 3 pips, or would you rather work through a spread of a 1/2 of a pip? You know, there's no comparison. Now, on some PAX accounts, on this demo account, they're not charging any commission at all. But on their live accounts, depending on what type of an account you have, they have some accounts that are commission free, and they have some accounts where you pay a commission. But I can tell you for a fact that the commission at PAX, depending on the pair, is going to run anywhere from 68 to 98 cents per mini lot in commission, compared to 20 to 24 cents commission on turnkey. Okay, the trading conditions at PAX is a great broker. They've been honest, they've been fair. I've been dealing with them for several years. They've never tried to cheat me, but especially if you're trying to scalp trades, turnkey from FinPro Trading is a much better deal. Okay, it just is. Now, the thing about it is, when you first open and fund your live account with FinPro, you will initially get a leverage of 200 to 1, and you have to send an email to request the leverage of 400 to 1. Okay, that's just the way it is. You're not going to get the 400 to 1 leverage by default. You have to request it.
Would you mind go back and show us where we can check what the leverage is on our account?
Yeah, okay, now once you have your account open, what you can do is you can go here to File, and then you can go to Just a minute. Just a second. No, wait. I'm not sure that it... I'm not sure that it actually shows you what your leverage is in here. But in your FinPro portal, when you go to your dashboard, manage accounts. Yeah, if account operations, you go to here. Okay, it tells you what type of an account it is. And you can change the leverage. See, right now it's, I can't see what this says. It says something in here, but, oh, no, wait. First you have to go to the account. Okay, it says a number in here. I can't see it because I do not see 200. Okay, so that's what it currently is, right? To change the leverage, you could try to put in 400 to 1, but it's not going to take it because the most they offer in here without a special request is 200 to 1. But all you have to do is send them an email, tell them your account number, tell them who you are, and tell them that you would like to request 400 to 1 leverage, and they will change it for you. Okay, if you have multiple accounts, you can transfer money from one account to another account very easily, and you can do that yourself right in here. Now, it won't be instant, okay? So if you have 2 live accounts and you're trying to pass money back and forth because one of the accounts is running into a margin issue or something like that, if you do this, don't expect it to be instantaneous. When you hit submit, it might still take, anywhere from 15 minutes to a couple of hours to get the transfer made. But you can do it here without sending an email request or something like that. But it won't be instant, and I want you to know that. It's very important to know it can take maybe up to a couple of hours. Shouldn't really take any longer than that.
Another question on my screen shows auto trading. Auto trading. Can you explain what that means?
Yes, auto trading is when you have programs that are set up. They're called EAs, like E for elephant, A for apple. And what that means is it means expert advisors, but that's what they call mini programs in MetaTrader that are set up to make trades for you. So currently you don't have any, and you should not have any until you've worked with me a while and I can teach you about them, because EAs, or automated trading, can be very, very dangerous if you do not understand how it works. Because what happens is these automated programs, if you don't have them set up just right, or sometimes even if you do have them set up just right, and they're doing what they're supposed to do, they don't know when to quit. And if you have it set up for it to put a trade in at some parameter, every time it hits that parameter, it's going to put in another trade. And when a trade price action is going sideways like this, and you have it set up to put in a buy every time it goes above the moving average, well, it's going to put in one here, 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 and you're going to end with all kinds of buy trades, and maybe the price ends up going down. So you can just run into all kinds of trouble with the EAs. You do not want EAs until you have been working with me for a lot longer than an hour and a half. But that's what that is. That's what automated trading is. So on your trading platform up here at the top, you should have this automated trading button clicked off. When it's red, it's off. When it's green, it's on. Okay, but since you don't have any EAs going on anyway, and even if you had some EAs, you don't want them trading by themselves, just turn it off by clicking it, turning it off. Does that make sense? Okay, does anybody have any other questions though?
Yes.
Okay, next question.
Thank you for that.
Okay. But what you're going to want to do here, once you have your FinPro trading portal window in the internet open, when you want to open your first live account, you click right here where it says live account, and you select your leverage that you want. Like I said, the most it's going to give you is 200 to 1. Select the account type. You want ECN. That's the only one that you want. And then your default currency would be USD. And then you hit new MetaTrader account. Okay? If you want a demo account, you can open as many demo accounts as you want. You click here. Same process. See, I'm going to go ahead and click this for Brian so it will open him a new live account. So see the difference in the account numbers? Live account numbers with FinPro start with 9999, some number, some number, some number, some number. Password, you know. Don't worry, you guys, you can copy this down. It's not going to get you anywhere because I'm not going to fund this account. So I don't really care if you all copy this number down, think you're going to sneak into Brian's account and mess with it. Won't do any good. I'm never going to fund it. But anyway, so anyway, but then once the account is opened and funded, then you can request that the leverage be changed to 400 to 1. Same with the demo account.
Question,
Yes.
are you going to teach us how to scalp with the Thinkorswim setup, or is it just chart setup?
Well, the chart setup that we'll be doing on Wednesday, tomorrow afternoon, that's going to be a 3 to 4 hour workshop just to get the charts built. And no, I'm not going to be teaching sub strategies in that tomorrow because A, there wouldn't be enough time, and B, that's a whole nother workshop in and of itself. That's a 4 hour workshop in and of itself. So no, we won't have time to really do the scalping strategies tomorrow. It's going to take us every bit of 3 to 4 hours to get the charts built. Now, the way that we're building the charts, that will entail my basic strategy. My bread and butter strategy is built into those charts, and I will be explaining that tomorrow. But, you know, we have a lot of sub strategies that go along with all of the trading that we do, but I won't be getting into those. And the scalping strategy is one of those sub elements to the trading strategies that I use. Okay, any more questions?
Mindy,
Yes.
do you start 9 o'clock tomorrow, or what time?
Tomorrow in the morning, it will start at 9 o'clock in Kansas City time. So if you're in Kansas City, I can't remember which one we have first tomorrow. Okay, yeah, we have the hedging workshop is tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock in Kansas City. So if you are in New York, this would be at 10 o'clock in the morning. And if you are in California, it would be at 7 o'clock in the morning. So you have to adjust the 9 a.m. to whatever time zone you are in.
Okay.
And then tomorrow afternoon, it will be at 3 p.m. in Kansas City. So this would be 4 p.m. in New York, and it would be at 1 p.m. right after lunchtime in California.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
I didn't look at it, so.
Yeah, it's kind. I know it's confusing, and I'm sorry.
Okay, are you gonna record this one or?
Yes. I had meant for this to be about an hour to an hour and a half workshop, and it's already gone almost 3 hours. So it will take me, it takes me almost as long to process these videos and get them posted as it takes to record them. So I had originally thought I would have this posted in about an hour and a half after it finished, but it's going to be at least 3 hours before the video is posted. And when it's posted, I will send everyone who was enrolled in the workshop a link so that you can go back and watch it as many times as you want to.
Okay. On the watch list, there's a gray symbols in this. How can it turn it on?
Okay, in the watch list, the symbols that are gray, those are symbols that are not tradable. And the reason they're not tradable is because they're put in there for programmers who are doing testing. So with those watch list elements that are grayed out, what you want to do is delete them if you can. But the thing is, like the one that says Euro USD, if you have a chart open for Euro USD, you can't not delete it. So what you would want to do is close the chart for Euro USD, and then you should be able to delete it. And you delete it by clicking on it to highlight it, and then right clicking on it, and then going down and telling it to hide it. That's how you delete it. But yeah, there's 4 or 5 grayed out ones right up at the top when you first start any watch list. And it's usually like Euro USD and AUD USD and USD CAD and, you know, some of the super common pairs. But if they're grayed out, they're not tradable. So you should have all of those same pairs down lower in your watch list where they are not showing as being grayed out. And those are the ones that you would want to have clicked on and have your chart set on when you're actually trying to make a trade.
Now, maybe if you accidentally put a trade in one of those gray out ones,
You can't.
it will not let you close it.
I don't think it'll let you even put a trade in, will it?
Well, on the demo account that I had, remember I had put one in, and I could never get it to close out.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't changed it or not.
Well,
No idea.
the reason is because those grayed out pairs are really only there for programmers who are doing testing. So in a live account, you cannot make a trade in one of those grayed out pairs. So it might be different in a demo account, but in a live account, it won't let you make a trade in one of those pairs. Because it's
either temporarily or the forever.
forever. Forever it won't let you. Now if you have a demo account, Mary said it will let you make a trade in those. But in a live account, you just get an error message if you try to accidentally make a trade in one of those.
Oh, I see. So sometime AUD/CAD is going to be gray or?
Well, what you should have in your watch list.
Oh, I I need
is,
to add it to underneath.
okay. Oh, you weren't there for that part. Okay. Here's what happens. Yeah, I forgot you weren't there for the first part of the meeting. When you first open an account, whether it's a live account or not, it's only going to show a couple of pairs up here, 5 or 6 pairs. And so
Right.
the first thing that you have to do is you have to put in all of the choices. So to do that, you right click on any one of them, and then you go down to show all, and you click on show all. Now what that's going to do is that's going to put a really long list of things
Okay.
to trade, okay? And then what I did in the video is I went through all of these things and told everybody which ones to delete and which ones not to delete. So when the video comes out, go back through that video and find that spot in the video and then follow along. I won't do it again here because it takes
Okay.
quite a while
I got
to
it.
do it, but there'll be a section in the video where I tell you which ones of these things to delete. And so
Okay.
yeah, you'll have to watch that section of the video.
Okay. I got it.
Yeah, it's all good. Now the other thing I want to say is that any of you who have further questions, please contact me via email, and then we will make an appointment to where I'll put you back on the call line, and you can talk to me and stuff, and we will get your situation fixed, whatever the issue is. Okay, so I'm not going to leave you hanging on anything, but I do need to end the video for now, or it's just going to be too long to post. so and I might have to cut out some sections that were kind of like boring. I'll need to shorten it up a little bit, probably, just to get it posted today. So I think that's about all that I have for this session today, unless anybody has any more questions right now that I can answer right now. I'm happy to do it. So if you do have a question, please speak up.
Thanks a lot. It's a good job. Thank you.
Well, thank
you,
you.
Mindy.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
guys. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video, get it posted as soon as I can. Watch for an email, and I'll send you the link as soon as I have it ready. So thanks everybody for coming, and I hope I see you tomorrow and later in the week for the other sessions. Okay, we're going to be off to a good start this year. Thanks for coming. Bye for now.